Hi everybody, I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to another update on Hurricane Helene. I am finally almost back to Jacksonville, Florida. Last night, and I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, that I was not able to find a hotel room in Perry because they were all sold out. And so the best I could do was to get a room in Jacksonville on Wednesday night. And then my hope was that after the worst of the hurricane passed, I would be able to get back to Jacksonville late last night to stay my second night. And I attempted to start leaving about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I quickly came across trees down across roads and telephone poles with transformers on them leaning across the road. And I thought, you know what? This probably isn't a very good idea. So I went back to the Hampton Inn where a lot of the media folks were hanging out, and I went into the back of the parking lot and just slept in the car. Got about 3 or 4, maybe 1 hour installments in. And then when light came, I attempted the trip to Jacksonville, and I had to stop several times because of trees blocking the road or the police having to redirect traffic. And so that all took extra time, but now, thankfully, I am only about 10 miles away, and luckily I purchased insurance for the trip, for the hotel stay, so I'm hopeful that I can get my one night back that I wasn't actually in the hotel. But I did want to make a little bit of a commentary here. Yesterday, I guess it was around midday, I shared with you that I was beginning to see for the first time a well-defined eye on the infrared imagery, which had not been present up until that point. And the reconnaissance aircraft had consistently showed a pressure, a minimum central pressure of about 960 millibars, and it wasn't going anywhere. And this is the point that I wanted to make, is that anybody that tells you that a tropical cyclone is only dependent on two things, warm water and low vertical wind shear, either has no desire to understand the complexities or to try to understand the complexities of tropical cyclones, or they just like easy answers to complicated problems. If it were that simple, every storm that developed over the Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea would explode. And they don't, okay? So my theory, for what it's worth, is that there are some very, very subtle differences between a storm that takes off like Helene did last night, falling 22 millibars in less than 12 hours. Okay, that is rapid intensification if I ever saw it. But there are some very subtle differences or thresholds that make the difference between something never realizing its full potential and something taking full advantage of its environmental conditions. And one thing I learned over the years, and it wasn't as bad at WRAL as it was at some stations, but there are two sins in the television industry that you're never supposed to commit. One is never admit that you're wrong, okay? And I'll give you an example of that. I don't make long-range forecasts for the winter. I don't think they're accurate. But there were so many forecasts out last winter that went for above normal snowfall, because they assumed, oh, it's an El Nino, we're going to get a lot of snow. And what did we get? Nothing. How many people went on the air and said, we were wrong? I didn't say anybody do it. Okay? So you're never supposed to admit that you're wrong. And even worse, you're never supposed to commit or admit that you don't understand something. That is the cardinal sin of all cardinal sins, okay? And I guess my take on that is, if you don't understand something, you don't understand something, okay? That's the neat thing about our world and about science, is we always have new stuff to learn. You have to care enough about whatever you didn't understand to make an effort to learn from that experience so you have a better understanding. You cannot take the attitude that, oh, well, I'm human, I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm just going to move on. You're going to make the same darn mistake again. If that's your attitude, you are destined to commit that error over and over and over again. And that's what the scientific community is always after, is what did we miss? What didn't we understand? And make as concerted an effort as possible to at least learn one new thing, so that the next time the understanding is better, and the time after that it's better, and the time after that it's better. That's how science progresses. That's how human beings get smarter. That's how that works. And I have been privileged over all these years to be around people that care about it. They care about it enough to admit they don't understand, to admit that they're wrong, and try to do better the next time. That's what you do. That's how you progress. That's how you get smarter. There isn't any way around it. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. All right. I had no idea that I was going to get emotional about that. I don't even know why I got emotional about that. But I felt compelled to share with you my feelings about that, because there's no sin in admitting that you don't understand or that you were wrong, as long as you care enough about that to learn from it and to get better. That's the bottom line. All right, folks, I'm going to be posting video once I get to a point where I've got a better internet connection. And I'm not sure that the video I shot last night will give you a full appreciation for how vicious this storm was, because it was at night. There was rain covering the lens. At times I tried to wipe it off with my shirt several times. It just didn't seem to make all that much difference. But it was vicious, and it was powerful, and I have never experienced anything quite like it. Certainly when Fran hit Raleigh, I thought that was bad. That didn't hold a candle to this. Didn't hold a candle. Why? Because we're comparing a minimal Cat 1 when it hit Raleigh to a Cat 4 that hit Perry, Florida last night. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. So I'll get that stuff up as soon as I can, and hopefully it'll give you at least some appreciation for what it was like, and hopefully life will be slowly returning to normal. Obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to the people that have, or the families that have lost loved ones in this. Last I heard, there was at least 5 fatalities, and I'm sure that number will probably go up, or at least I suspect it will. So hopefully everybody can use common sense here and get through this as best we can. All right, that's it for now, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.